Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Sean and today we are doing a start to finish tutorial on how to capture console gameplay, and in this instance I'm going to be using a PS2 because I really want to stream Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. It's a game that I grew up with, that I put a lot of hours into, and I would definitely like to get back into that and share that gameplay with you guys on YouTube. Now if you have any questions about this video, you want to go back and rewatch things, I'm going to break it all down into chapters. All the parts, all the things I'm using is going to be down in the video description as well. If you have any comments or questions, leave it down below, or maybe join the Discord community and I'll get back to you guys. But this tutorial is going to basically translate. So it doesn't matter if you want to do PS2 like me, or maybe you want to do PS5 games, Xbox One S or One X. This will be a capture card and a tutorial that you can use to do all of the above, and it's going to be really, really simple. So if you like the video, chuck it a like, get subscribed, and let's begin. Alright, so let me show you the parts that we're going to be using today to make this video possible. We have a capture card from a company called Pengo. This is something that they've sent over. This is the 4K HDMI Grabber Pro. Basically has a HDMI input for capturing your console and then a HDMI output for plugging into your monitor. You've also got here on the back a USB-C connection to go into your PC, so that way something like OBS can actually capture the video signal, and then you've got a microphone and headphone jack on there as well. And this is going to be a very, very good capture card to have if you want to capture any sort of console footage, even if it's like the latest One X or One S. It will do 4K 60, 4K 30, 1080p, 1440p, up to 144 hertz, 120 hertz. It is a very, very versatile little device. And if you haven't checked out Pengo, you should definitely check them out. They actually sent this over for me to use to make a video. So thank you to the team at Pengo for making this possible. And then the next part we have is a converter from Hyperkin. This is the PS1, PS2 converter, which I paid about $60 for in Australia. And then we have the PS2. So basically this has a cable going out the back of it, which goes into the output of the PlayStation. And then on the other end, you basically have, if I can get this here, a HDMI cable or a HDMI connection on one side. So this will go, into the capture card like so, and then you've got a USB connection which goes, down onto the floor at the moment, but it will go into the PC because you do have to, give this a little bit of juice. So, depending on what kind of console you're, planning on using to stream or to play games or whatever it might be, you might have to get one of these if it's an older console, maybe one for an Xbox. But if you're doing something more recent like a One X or a PS5, PS4, you're going to be perfectly fine just plugging directly into the Pengo 4K, Grabber Pro. From there, we're going to be taking it to the PC. So, that USB-C connection is going to go into the back of the PC, and then we're going to use software on one of the monitors. We're going to use OBS to capture the video signal, and then we've got a spare monitor for actually, playing the game without any latency. So that way we're not playing through the OBS window, if that makes any sense. If it doesn't, don't stress. I'm going to get into that very, very soon. But that's basically what we've got going on. We've got the Grabber Pro capture card, we've got the Hyperkin converter, and we've got a PlayStation 2. All of this stuff is going to be down in the video description. So now let me get everything plugged in so I can show you how I've got it all set up. Okay, so this is the next part, which is, I guess, the cabling and where everything goes and how it's all plugged in. And I'll show you that. It was really, really simple. Honestly, I didn't have any issues at all. It was very, very straightforward. So probably the best place to start is the power. So this is the power lead for the PlayStation, which basically comes up around the back and goes into the PlayStation just here. And then from there, we have this Hyperkin cable. So we have one end, so we can see it's got that little light on because it's being powered by USB. So that little cable basically goes into the output of the PlayStation, okay? So this is that Hyperkin cable plugged in. And then on the other end of the Hyperkin, so this end here, the opposite end, we have that, which is the HDMI end, going into, the input of the Pengo capture card, because we're going out of the PlayStation and into the Pengo, right? And then we're going with a HDMI cable out of the Pengo we're going out of there, and then we're going into the input on the monitor. So it doesn't matter what kind of monitor, preferably 1080p or higher. I mean, this console is not going to support 1080p, but basically we've got HDMI going to HDMI. And then with the Pengo, okay, we've got a USB-C cable just here, which is going into the back of my PC, going into the USB-C port. If you don't have USB-C on the back of your computer, don't worry, you can just go from USB-C to USB type A, okay? So it doesn't really matter what kind of connection, just as long as it's USB, you'll be fine. And then on the back here, what I've done is I've just plugged in a pair of headphones because I want to be able to, hear the audio when I'm playing the game. And if you want to plug in a microphone, you can do that, but I've definitely, I've just left it out for the sake of this video. So that's totally up to you. So in summary, power goes to the PlayStation, out of the PlayStation, into the Hyperkin, and then from the Hyperkin going to the Pengo input, which is this one, and then we're looping out on the HDMI, going into the input on the monitor, and then we're giving USB power to the Pengo, and we're giving USB power to the Hyperkin. Turn on the PlayStation, put the controller on, and you should get your game automatically popping up on the screen. So now what I'll do is I'll open up the software in OBS and take you through the settings there, so you can actually go ahead and capture your gameplay or your footage or whatever it might be, and stream it or record it wherever you like. So the next part is going to be the software. The software we're using is OBS Studio for Windows 10. Now, if you don't know about OBS Studio, essentially it's a screen recording piece of software which can do a million things. It also allows you to broadcast to things like YouTube or Twitch or Facebook, or if you just want to record locally to your hard drive, you can do that, and you can add a lot of plugins and effects, and it's a very, very powerful piece of software which is completely free. It doesn't cost you anything. And if you want to know more about OBS Studio, I'll leave a link to their website, and there's a huge community. There's tons of videos out there on OBS Studio because every, profile or every scenario with OBS is going to be a little bit different. You're going to have it configured differently for everyone depending on what console, what hardware, what monitor, all that kind of stuff. So if you want to know more information about OBS, I'll leave all the information to OBS down in the description. But for the sake of this video, let's jump into OBS and go through the settings that you're going to need to capture the Pengo 4K Grabber Pro. So once you've downloaded and installed OBS and you've gone through the wizard, you should have an icon like this on your desktop that says OBS, and if you open it up and go through the quick tutorial, you should hopefully get to a screen like the one that I'm on right now, which is completely blank, okay? You've got scenes and sources. The scene is, you can have multiple scenes, like you might have one for your PlayStation and one for your Xbox. And then sources, this is the stuff that you're going to put into the scene, okay? So we want to add as a source the 4K Grabber Pro from Pengo. Now, by the way, the Grabber Pro is literally just plug and play. It's really, really simple. We want to go ahead and click the plus button on the sources window and then press video capture device, because that Grabber box is capturing video from the PlayStation. So we press video capture device, we press OK. You can give it a name if you want to give it a name. We might just call it PS2, and then we might call it, Pengo, right? OK, and then you'll get this window. So there's a bunch of different devices that I can pick on my particular computer, but what we're going to do is choose Pengo 4K Grabber Pro, because that's what we plugged in to the USB. And then we'll go ahead, and you should see in the preview window the display that we're getting on our second monitor, which is the gameplay from the PlayStation. You can just leave the resolution type as default. It should figure that out for you. If you want to specify the resolution, you can. And if we go down, we also want to capture the audio. So it doesn't just capture video, this Pengo thing, it will also capture audio. So we'll use custom audio device, and we'll keep scrolling down, and we'll choose the audio device we want to capture as the Grabber Pro, okay? So we'll press OK on that one, and then press OK again. Now we can see here we're getting we're getting the signal. We can see the wave, the audio meter, the level, you know, it's definitely doing something. We want to go ahead though and click on the cog and go advanced audio properties. And then we want to go ahead and press on the PS2 Pengo, we want to monitor and output. And now if we press close, we can see we've got the Pengo and the desktop audio, they're sort of matched. And if I put these headphones on, I can actually now listen to the game and I can actually hear everything that's going on. One last thing we need to do as well is we need to go to the window, because at the moment it's not taking up the whole screen, and we can just drag that out so we can expand it to fill the whole screen. So when we're streaming and recording, we're capturing everything and not just, I guess, you know, the small sort of window that's in the corner there. So now with my controller, if I pick that up, you should be able to hear this now. I can press continue and I can start playing my game. And now instead of just, you know, playing it through the OBS window, which is going to add some latency and a bit of a delay, I can actually just turn and face the main monitor and get the full experience and just basically play this game as if I was just sitting in front of the TV on my couch, and there's absolutely no performance loss or anything like that. It is really, really, really smooth, which is very, very nice, right? Press pause, go back to OBS, and now the next part is connecting it to your streaming software. So for example, if you're using YouTube or Twitch or Facebook, you can go ahead and go into the settings, okay? And you want to go to where it says output. You want to go ahead and, you know, choose your encoder, choose your bit rate. To know more about that, again, go on through the tutorials on OBS. There's tons on YouTube about how to sort of detect or, you know, figure out which one is the best for you. And then choose your audio settings. So the audio we want to use is the Grabber Pro. We just select that from the drop-down menu. Microphone, you can, you know, select your microphone. I'm going to use my dedicated one, so I'm going to leave that there. And then video settings, this is where you can choose your resolution and your frames per second. And once you've got that done, you want to go to the stream part. So you can go ahead and set up your, if you click on the service, you can literally just connect OBS to Twitch or YouTube or Facebook. Or if you want to stream to a custom platform which is not necessarily integrated with OBS, you can just paste the server and paste the key and press OK. Don't share the key with anyone, otherwise they're going to be able to stream on your platform, which is definitely not ideal. But once you've gone through those settings, you know, your video, your audio, your output, and your stream key and your stream settings, press OK. And then once you press the start streaming button or start recording button on the right here, you're good to go. And that is pretty much it. It is literally that simple. Getting everything off the bench, plugging it in, configuring it in software takes you, or took me probably all of about 10 or 15 minutes. And, you know, I've got a bit of experience, but I think with this tutorial, it should be pretty simple for you as well. But let me know if you have any issues in the comment section, and I'll definitely do my best to get back to you guys. Alrighty guys, so that's pretty much it for this video tutorial. If you have any comments or questions about anything that I might have skipped over, or maybe you want me to go into more detail, please let me know down in the comment section. Links to all of the products that I've used, again, in the description of the video, and use those chapters if you need to go back and re-watch anything in case you're not sure on what cable goes where and how to all, you know, how it all works together basically. But I think if you do watch this and you take your time, you shouldn't have any issues at all. Big thanks to Pengo for sending over their 4K Grabber Pro capture card, because that has literally made this whole video really, really easy. Didn't have any issues at all. I'll leave links to Hyperkin if you need to pick up one of those adapters. But that's pretty much it. So if you liked the video and it helped you out, chuck it a like, get subscribed, join the Discord community, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.